Welcome to the Liquid Late Thanks podcast. Listen, we out here and we're just trying not to be just get a lot. No, all right. Anywho,
You ever seen the plasma center?
the what?
You know what a plasma center is, right?
No.
We go donate blood.
Oh yeah.
They're always in rough neighborhoods.
What the? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Come on, dude. You can go sell some blood, go. Okay. As if those people don't know that's why they put it there.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
Why?
There was a beginning of that sentence.
No, there's other stuff. I don't know why it split it up. I had to. I drove by one day. I said, and then I see junkies walking down. Anyway, that's just me. And I've seen it before. You can go, however you sell some blood or experimental stuff, whatever they do to you down there, and go get you a fix.
All right, answer your own question. Let me.
Well, I just want to discuss it. Is what I want to do. Is because I thought maybe people haven't noticed that and don't know why that's done that way, and who funds these kind of deals and taking advantage of the dispossessed. I'm not some kind of a social crusader, but it's funny in one sense, but it's not really funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. I'm all right.
You bring it up. You got some thoughts on it. That's fine.
I got no thoughts. I just let it be.
No. Because you drove by and had a thought. I don't see it because we too cool for that over here. So,
What do you mean by that?
like, I don't see, like, if you, the only time.
So you've never seen a plasma center, and because you had to go into a rough neighborhood. That's where they are.
Well,
My
yeah,
point is that's where they are.
okay, but the rough areas are in a big city. I don't live anywhere near a big city, so any kind of blood stuff like that. Maybe it's a roving bus, but there's not a central location you can go in and say, "Oh, let me sell this," and then go down the street. That's not. We ain't that kind of towns over here. Orlando might have something like that. You just drove through Tampa, but yeah, I don't see that around.
How far do you live from what you consider Orlando?
I live in the suburbs, man.
How far is my question?
Half an hour?
How many miles is that?
5? No.
So a junkie can walk that far.
No, it's at least 25 miles or so, honestly, to downtown center. To get
I'm not talking about, okay, where I saw this place today, it was out by USF, which is 10 miles from downtown Tampa. The point was, that's where they put them, that's where they are. But anyway, I just thought it was something interesting. So I guess it's not very interesting. It was just me thought it was interesting.
You're having a conversation. I'm just saying what I can see, because the problem is I don't live 10 miles from the city center.
As if you know it's, so you just drive around blinded. You're not
I never
curious.
noticed those.
What do you be looking at when you drive around?
Just be driving around, but I don't be noticing. I don't notice these places, that kind of place. Now there's some methadone clinics and stuff all up around Orlando that you can see.
Well, I guarantee you a plasma center someplace close by if there's a methadone center there too.
Right, fair enough.
Anyway, I'll just leave that be. What do I know? Did you look at the article I put about Zion? The man in this private part, is just anyway. No man. I saw a funny meme was on Reddit. Someone said, "Well, they finally found a solution for Zion, a vasectomy," and then I said, "Wow."
I mean, here's the your boy needs to calm down.
He must have never had a woman growing up, so because he had these.
He's got other baby mama issues.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not that he met some nice woman. He let these. I want to sit on. Yeah, but these career people who that's what they do. Get him.
Yeah, I mean, wait a minute. So you don't. All right, let me do the intro.
So I read an article. There's a woman that's suing him for $50 million for distress. Really?
So
really?
I mean, they've been ongoing. I read part of the article too. Have they ongoing issues? So this is like her, screw it. Let's just take it and be done. So number one, he's a grown man.
Not really.
You should
Obviously,
know.
he does. Obviously, he's not.
Okay, but so I mean, I can't excuse it then. I mean, if these
I'm
women
not
throwing
trying.
themselves at
We're
you,
not
you're
looking
saying,
for an excuse. I'm just saying. Okay, it's not
what are you
about
trying
an
to
excuse.
say?
Well, who is his team? So when you make this kind of cheese, you're supposed to have a team of professionals, wise people who can kind of t- school you on different things. How you keep falling into all this stuff?
Yeah, I don't think every NBA guy gets that.
I wasn't talking about every NBA. I was just talking about Zion.
Well, no, because this is not just his problem. There's a lot of guys running around the
Well,
league with these kind
all
of
I'm talking
issues.
about is Zion. I know some other issues. You want to bring those up? I know it too. I read about them. So this, but that's not your average guy. There's a small percentage of nutcases do stuff like that. So it's not every guy. And so he's one of the main culprits. Most of these guys, they're not like that. They got people to take care of them. So it's a small percentage. Even though because what they do is so outlandish, you hear about it. And Zion stuff is really outlandish.
Hmm.
I read an article about this. The guy Zion's used to be Zion's teammate, the kid, the Lakers draft. I can't think of his name. Let's get into it. I can't think of his name right now. But there's a woman had a baby with him, and a couple years later she had a baby for another NBA guy. She just got the stuff just rolling in. So that kind of stuff. I'm like, guys, really, guy? You couldn't see that coming? Never mind.
But are you okay? So wait, are you mad because the dude is dumb, or are you mad because these women are coming at them?
First, I'm not mad at all. I'm just pointing out these kind of situations people allow these guys to get into where's their team?
But that's the thing. That comes back to you asked about who's their team. I don't know. Do they got a professional team? Did somebody tell them to get a professional team when they came out of college? I mean, is there
Yeah.
any of their
Okay. Okay.
family going?
Excuse me. They have managers who you have to have a agent first of all when they negotiate deals for you. So the agent should put together a team for you, teach you about your nutrition, the lifestyle, tell you what the do's and the don'ts when you're out there in the world. And come on, dude, that's old.
Okay, yeah, but clearly that's not happening. And again, he's a grown man. You should be able to make some decisions on your
That's okay.
own.
That's so the grown man term doesn't work because obviously he's not a grown man. He's a mental pygmy. Huh?
Okay, so I'm just trying to get where you're. So you're not mad at, but you see these things happening. But
It's
are you trying to
distressing.
say is it a structural problem like this? This is just the way these kids come up and they hit all this money and then just lose their minds. And there's nobody around them to say, "Hey, come on, man, what you doing?" Or the boys are like, "Well, we don't want to end hit the ride." You know, I, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, it is old because there's been guys coming up from wherever, getting into the league, any professional league, making more money than they've ever seen in their lives.
When we're in the NSOC, that's another story.
Right. But and like I said, we've talked about this. There's a lot of guys had teams and still ran out of
But
money.
I just saw this article and I just thought it was just you know what I mean. That's why I brought it. That's why I put it. I completely. It's not just one woman. It's two or three of them.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, dude. You know what I mean? No man. What do I know? I just, for me, it's my brain said somebody out there got to say, man, what are you doing? You go to a strip club and only you're selling down. You got Rosa Rita there, who's you 19 or 20, she's 32 already. She's out, you know what I mean? Now next thing you're gonna celebrate a baby, and next thing you know, she's suing you for $50 million. We'll settle for less, but still, I know, man. I just find it perplexing.
I'm sorry, you're perplexed that a man who likes women doesn't know any better when somebody comes around to him like that.
I'm not that smart. That's not what I was thinking. I just thought this. How could I? No, man. It was just let's
No,
just leave this.
no, say it.
No,
You
no, I'm
obviously
done.
have some thoughts on it. I
I
mean,
just
I'm
said
just trying
what
to
my
figure.
thoughts were, but I'm not going to.
Well,
I'm done with that. I let that be.
you mad at this whole lifestyle?
No, I'm not an angry guy.
Well, when I say mad, it's not so. All right, you're perplexed at this whole lifestyle,
No, it's
the
just
whole world.
oh hell no, man. You get it. You got me wrong. So you know what I'm trying.
I would just I'm giving you space to say what you want.
Not when you address it that way.
Well, what is it then?
I'm done with it. I said it already.
All right.
I just think that whoever he's paying to handle his affairs, he should fire him and get some other people because they're not, unless he doesn't listen.
Possible. It is very possible. You can't hold a man's hand all the time.
The guy's a bust. First of all, also, he's a bust. Been in the league 7 years, hasn't done anything. Yeah. Just took all the money, ate all the burgers, and
he took all the money
and got all the babies. Oh, he got 3 baby mamas, 2, 3 baby mamas. He's a bust.
I mean, he's no Nick Cannon, but he got some baby mamas.
He's no Elon.
He's no Elon. Actually, Nick, hold on. No, I think Elon does have a few more than Nick Cannon does. Not by much. Anywho, not by much. We'll see if there's another one on the way. All right. Let's talk about some silliness real quick. So you brought this up, and I'm really surprised, but I think I know why you did it. So Rick Ross lost the boat.
Yeah. Did you read the article?
Yeah.
So I read it a week or so ago, but I didn't realize it was Rick Ross's boat. You know what I mean? I didn't know that until the second article comes up on Reddit or something like that. That's a $4 million, $5 million yacht.
Yeah, one of 63.
Yeah. So what I'm
saying, Lamborghini branded, Lamborghini built.
Yeah, yeah. So, but what the article, the car is basically salvaged. It's scrap. Okay. The thing is that the boat's only supposed to have about 12 people on it. They had 32 influencers on, all drinking whatever they overpriced stuff they drank, and then
they're girls in bikinis. That's what that meant.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is like, anyway, I'm not. It was like, I'm thinking, why? I mean, why? What was this about? You know what I mean? It's first of all, there's too many,
right?
Because when it's 32, you can't look. Your eyeballs are just fall out the head. It's just too much to see. You know what I mean? And the boat was capacity for 12, so you got.
Wait a minute. Oh, there's too many to see. It turns into. Do you remember? Do you remember like any Jay-Z video, like that Jay-Z video? I think the Pamela manager shows up, like he's on the Bahamas. It's like 40,000 people, and then they go on the boat. It's like enough. It's that life. That's what they try to do.
But it's just too much.
It is too much. I get you. That's
I went to a lunch one time. I had just moved to Los Angeles. It must have been early 90s. And I was with Nissan. There was a lunch, and it was bringing back the 200Z ZX, but it wasn't. It failed. Let me just be clear about that first. We were at the Coliseum, right? They brought the car in on a helicopter and landed it, and they had the Oakland Raiders, no, not LA Raiders cheerleaders. And they were all beautiful blondes, and I couldn't tell the difference between any of them. It was like there were just too many. It was too many to see. Your eyeball, you can't even, I don't remember anything from it because it was just too many. That's a true story. It was insane. The food was good.
That's a terrible problem to have.
I'm like, what? And the car wasn't all that. But it was cool because the guy dropping these helicopter comes down, lands in the Coliseum, drops it there. They serving all of us. They brought all these reps from everywhere. It was just because they used to do it in LA, but it was just too many, boss. It was too many. Huh?
He wasn't even on that boat.
No, but it's his boat.
It is his boat. He's about to have a car show.
Yeah, I read about that. But he's got money. He's just whatever. He's got some kind of crazy money.
Yeah. But
what I'm saying, the boat's probably, they say the boat's done. Right?
Yeah, they're scrapping it. So now the price on everything else is going up because it's a limited edition. They only made 63 of them, and now there's 62.
So who's going to pay his insurance claim on that?
I mean, I'm sure he's got good insurance. Somebody paying it.
No, he's over
on a yacht like that,
boss. You see 32 people on the bow of the boat.
You'll get some good lawyers. He's going to get that money. He's going to get that money somehow, some way. I know he's getting that money because there's no way you can't. Even if it was 2 people and it went down, that's that kind of money for that kind of they got. There's going to be like a regular insurance on it.
If he's there, so who's responsible for it? The captain of the boat, because he pays the captain and the crew to run this thing. They got overwhelmed. There's so much to look at. They just got overwhelmed and let all the bikinis just run. Plus the weight of all whatever they were drinking, expensive, whatever they drink.
Well, I think probably the captain on the boat gets dinged for something. So that thing you guys had in St. Pete a couple of weeks ago, when the yacht hit, the tour group, technically the driver of the boat, which is the captain, gets dinged. That guy. So I think it's part of the same thing, in terms of maybe there's a fine or something from that. but insurance company. So either insurance company, yeah, somebody they're still going to get the money for the boat. Now, whether or not that captain has to go, get in trouble, I don't know how that part works. But he may not have a job after this. Rick Ross be like,
that was
"How
my
you done
point. Was
suck
he
my boat?
probably
How
don't
you
have
done
a
suck
job?
my boat?"
That was my point. He probably don't have a job. But it was just, to me, that's wow. That's just, it was too many people. Even I know when I saw the picture of the people standing, that's too many people on that little boat. I mean, it's a yacht, yeah, so that's too many.
Yeah. Sometimes when the party starts moving, the party starts moving.
So it started to take on water. They had to call the Coast Guard, and they were still drinking and partying.
Yeah, somebody was held on to some really expensive bottle of tequila, talking about it's safe. It's safe. I'm like, girl, let that go.
You got
Let
no,
it go.
that's her. Never mind. I don't even want to say it.
Listen, sometimes money. Here's the thing, and here's my theory on that, and then other story on kind of talk about. If you didn't come from that world, would you kind of have that kind of respect for money, and then money's kind of there? You don't know any better not to do something stupid with it, and not just kind of waste it, and kind of be like, popping fingers like my granddad used to say. You popping fingers all over town, and then all of a sudden stuff like this happens.
Hey, who that? It
Who
just
what?
popped in.
Identify yourself.
I'll keep
We
y'all
were
keep
just-
that.
We were just finishing up about Rick Ross's like it's a Lamborghini yacht that got sucked down in Miami with 900 influencers on the bow, and it's supposed to have 12 people on it.
Wow.
Like, dude, what is wrong with you guys? Anyway, that's too much. Anyway,
I mean, it's Miami. Everybody could float.
well, the Coast Guard had to get them off. They wasn't floating yet. Yeah,
They were still
somebody's
floating.
gonna pay the Coast Guard
girls
for
were
the,
floating.
There's a bill for that too. You know that for the Coast Guard coming. It's probably gonna bill Rick Ross, huh?
Anyway, Gino, you there? You with us?
I'm here. I'm with you.
You ready?
What's up?
Thank you. Nothing. We balling. We balling like it's 1999.
It is 1999.
1999.
99. All right, let's talk about this finals that nobody wanted, but here you go.
Yeah, right. Nobody wanted.
Why would you say nobody wants it? I don't get that.
You were the first one to say nobody wanted. You said, I
Yeah,
think
because I didn't want it because I wanted the Lakers in it. That's just,
yeah, but if I remember correctly, you said, is it you that said it's gonna be the lowest rated? Because they already got their money. It's gonna be the lowest rated one anyway. They already
well,
paid.
what I'm getting right now, it may not be a low rating because there's people coming back to because I'm talking to my brother last night. He had given up on the NBA because of all the old school guys. He's excited now because the young bloods. Man, the young bloods in there. That your Uncle Peter. The young bloods in it. I want to watch it. I said, oh, that might be what we're gonna get from people now because all the old heads, LeBron, Steph, KD, Harden, none of these people are in it. We got, Oklahoma City, the oldest guy on their team is former Laker. Oh man, he's 30, but everybody else is like under like 26 or 25. They're young.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? The kid that won the championship with us in 2020, I can't think of his name right now. I love him too, but I'm sorry. We should never let him leave him, but my brain is shut down right now. And the same thing with the Pacers, even though I can't root for the Pacers all because of the Reggie Miller effect. That's a whole nother story. But it's just Caruso. Alex Caruso is the oldest guy on their team. He's 30. And they traded for him mid-season because of his defense. So he might get another title this year. He won with the Lakers. He's gonna get another one with OKC because I don't think Indiana has enough juice to do with these boys. These guys are something else.
Yeah, they're blowing people out 30, 40 points.
They're good now. Their average wins was like 20 points, 20-some points all season. Wait a minute, that high. But it's double digit all season long.
You
And
think
they're
it's a
all
sweep?
young. Both these teams are under the apron. They're under the salary cap. So they got money for a couple more years. We have to pay some of these boys. You got everybody on the cheap. Yeah, if you want to call $20-30 million a year cheap, but that's a whole nother story.
Thanks, relative.
The highest paid guy on the Oklahoma team is Hartenstein. He makes $30 million a year. I mean, just that's LeBron's like bar tab. You know what I mean?
He said top shelf liquor.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this guy, I think it's going to be exciting. I don't know about the rate. I'm not. Again, the deal's already done with NBA signed that $76 billion deal last season. But the Midwest basketball, what's going on in Indiana with the fever, so it's gonna. I think it's be interesting just to see. You're gonna get some interesting people who do just okay. There's a lot of haters out there for the old school boys. You know that, right? People love Steph in a certain degree. but there are a lot of people hate LeBron. They don't like KD. So this young, fresh crowd, which is good for the league. And see who's marketable. I'm starting to read stuff. They talk about, you see their biographies and stuff like that starting to float around. They look commercials coming up. Hey, it works.
Is it going to go more than 4 games?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to blow them out. No, they're going to. First of all, they play the same style of ball. I'm just saying, the OKC has more firepower in a sense than Indiana. But Indiana, they're good. I mean, they got Pascal Siakam, who's won a title with the Raptors in 2019. He's good. They got all these guys are good. So, but if you stack it up, OKC's got a better roster. They go like 9 guys, 10 guys deep, and they just slap me upside the head all night long. So, but the guards with Halliburton Halliburton's not as good as Shea though. Shea's the package. So hey, thank the Clippers for Shea. Which is another dumb. Because they traded. Listen,
the Clippers.
No, well,
Oh, Lord.
they drafted him, and then they wanted to sign Kawhi, and Kawhi said, "Well, I want to come with you." He wouldn't go to the Lakers. This is 2018. So I'll come if you get Paul George. So they traded Shea to OKC to get Paul George, and they got a boatload for Paul George. That made their team. They got Shea. They got another player I can't remember now. And they got 3 or 4 draft picks. Paul George goes to the Clippers in LA. They still haven't done anything. Huh? They made it to the conference final once. Now Paul George is in where he's now, Philly. Kawhi is still down there in San Diego someplace, not talking, giving sign language and stuff. So hey, what do you want? That's a story. That's how this kid ended up at OKC. He would have been in the Clippers. I read an article the other day. Doc Rivers said he didn't. He tried to talk Kawhi. Man, this kid's going to be a star. He said Kawhi's thing was how soon, because he wanted to win now. So 6 years later, you haven't done anything. These guys are in the finals. Yeah, well, Katie barred the door. Huh?
Patience. Sometimes you need patience.
So, gentlemen, what's your thoughts on the matter? Who's going to win? What do you think?
I haven't really been. Can you hear me?
Yes. You whisper, but that's okay.
Trying to fix it. Sorry. How about that?
Yeah.
You sound manly.
I sound manly. You know what? I gotta be real. I haven't when the Knicks lost, I was like, whatever. So
that was like the other night.
I know. So I'm like, now, I mean, what? I'm gonna be a OKC or a Pacer right
No.
now?
I'm going to ask about a fandom. I'm a Laker. I just say, what do you think of the 2 teams that are playing? Is the question.
I don't have any opinions on them. That's the problem.
Well, okay. So that's okay.
You don't care.
I think it's going to get serious. But if I was a gambling man, I put my money on OKC.
All right. So you're going OKC.
Yeah. I just think it's going to be. But I also think it's going to be a good, exciting series because it's a bunch of younger guys. People don't know. If you're not a real NBA fan, you understand this. But so hopefully they'll do some good marketing and draw in some people who. Because what somebody said the other day, so your grandmother knows who Steph Curry is. So you're such a non-basketball person. So you got people to draw people in that don't normally watch the sport because there's a new crowd of young guys who are exciting and hey, and that's what the league needs. To be honest about it.
So you're gonna watch every game?
No, of course not. I don't have time for that. I'm gonna watch some, yeah.
But so that's my thing. So if the Lakers are playing, you'll watch every game.
I try. But sometimes I may not watch all of them.
Sometimes you can't win. Okay.
I mean, it's in prime time and it's on off nights.
And it's the only game going on.
So it's not going to be 11 o'clock at night. Oh.
I may watch. I don't know. I'm not going to commit to something watching every game now, but I'm going to watch. It all depends on what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. It opens in OKC because they have the best record. So the first 2 games will be there. You can make a decision after those 2 games what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, it's worth watching for me. It's worth watching for Halliburton and Jalen and, just to see what Miles can do.
Jalen is going home, so not Jalen. Jalen's a Knick. He's home. His little shoot, dribble, but is going home. If you pass the ball sometime, the Knicks man would have won.
Ooh. He said.
Oh, that's tough on the man.
He don't play any D, dog. I mean, he got talent. Don't get me wrong. But the Knicks need more than that. But no, but you talk about Halliburton and his team, Pascal Siakam, some of those guys, and then, OKC has Shea. They got Hartenstein. They got what's the kid named Chet, the tall kid, the skinny kid. He can play now. He missed his rookie year because he got hurt playing summer ball with LeBron and and stuff. But he can play, and they got this. They're good. But again, Indiana has some good players too. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very good. I think, but it won't be like I think it goes 6.
Okay.
And
Okay.
hey, well,
Okay.
again, OKC last time they went to the Indies. Now, Indy went the last time was 2000. He ran against my Lakers. He whooped their butt. But that's another story. It was Reggie and the boys. That was our first title in the three-peat. Kobe and Shaq's three-peat was 2000. Jalen Rose, Reggie Miller, all those guys on that team. He whooped their butt. Anyway, the last time OKC went was 2011. James Harden, KD, and knucklehead Russell Westbrook. And they got their head whooped by Dallas. Was it Dallas? Yeah. It's Dallas only time. That's when they got beat by Dirk. Dirk whooped their head in, lost. Anyway, so both have been in it before. They just haven't won it yet. So one of the two is going to win it this time. No, I take that back. When Oklahoma City, when they were still in Seattle, they were the Seattle Supersonics. They did win. They won it in 78.
Yeah.
Those oil guys bought the team and moved it to Oklahoma. The city of Seattle still own a name up there. At some point, they're going to know the team again.
They're still talking about building a new stadium. But every time
They're probably going to get it done. I
Yeah.
think the two teams are going to get their team's going to be in Seattle and one's going to be in Vegas. Because Vegas got everything going on
Vegas
right
is
now.
here, right?
Vegas got everything right now, dude. If you lived in Vegas, the problem with Vegas is it's hot all the time. In the summer, it's like, dude, no grass grow,
Dry.
no mosquitoes.
Dry.
Yeah, dude. You can't. You better be inside.
Yep.
You don't have no oil in your hand when you walk outside. You hear your scalp
Ooh,
frying.
no.
You can't even sit under the shade in Vegas in the summer, man.
No, dude.
What
Vegas is
shade?
like
Yeah, exactly.
You better inside.
not-
Anywhere. You just find an inside building. No, I don't go outside. I like to visit on the inside. Can you'll fly me in, take me a tunnel to the hotel.
But a lot of people live in Vegas. Vegas has got surrounding area, the suburban stuff. It's because it's still the desert. At night it gets cool, but the daytime, it's still a little warm. It's a little warm. Anyway, that's what's going to happen. That's my feeling. So, who propped this thing about the finale of the TNT boys?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, give them their props. Give them their props.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry. They were crying. Shaq was dabbing.
You think it's real tears?
I mean, they still making money.
You think?
They're going to be on next season. But, you feel some sentimentalness for it. It's the end of a
They had
era.
a good run.
They gave them rings.
They had a great run. Yeah. I'm still mad because Shaq took Chris Webber's job because Chris Webber was with those guys, and Shaq comes out, he retires, they take Chris's job. Because Chris Webber was better than Shaq, but he's just Shaq.
Yeah.
I'll say that to the people. Chris just forget it. He and his wife went to Northern California. They own vineyards and they growing grapes and making wine and stuff. He's fine. He ain't worried about anybody. But
So I have to admit, I missed all of this, and I just heard a blip about it today that the contract was over. So what happens after this point? Anybody know?
So they got moved over as part of the NBC deal, or ABC, ESPN, that deal that's taken all the NBA games. So TNT doesn't have any more games ever.
They're done.
They're done. TNT's out.
But
contract over.
But the team is
going to license
over.
the show.
Yeah.
Okay. So the whole team is moving.
Yeah. So they still get the license. They're still going to do the show out of Atlanta. And when they're not on the road, their TNT crew will still run the show. But if they're not on the road, ESPN's going to have their guys out there. So everybody got paid. Everybody's moving over.
They cried because they checked the bank accounts, all the ballooning and stuff. Let's be real about that, dude. But TNT couldn't match that deal that NBC made last year. The money's insane. I'm still saying the money the NBA just got.
Yeah, it's
those
like
guys,
NBC, ESPN, and Prime's in there because Prime's trying to get out of all the sports too. So
so that's what happened. So they're not. In essence, that what they had there is done. TNT. It's like when Terry Turner hooked up with AOL, whatever back in the day, and they right.
AOL,
So then everything went boom. But all these guys got money. Charles Barkley, it makes a lot of money. Stephen A. Smith makes on it, but Charles is up there too. Yeah.
Well, he's got NBA. He's on the NBA. He does all the March Madness stuff, and half them doing the March Madness thing. So that's CBS.
And he's
It's not
done
even related.
NHL stuff too. He may be on the Stanley Cup. He probably going to be the Stanley Cup Finals too. Doing some stuff. So Charles does.
Yeah.
So Stanley Cup from who's it?
Florida and Edmonton.
The Panthers.
Part 2.
And the Oilers.
Yeah.
From last year.
They
and the Panthers probably going to win it again too. It's Florida. You got a hockey team in Miami. Where's the snow?
Only in the arena. They pay good money for that.
Where's the octopus? They throw it on the ice and stuff.
We can get you that. It might be a little small, but we'll get you that.
But Charles will be there. Anyway, it's just what they've done. That's just the new. That's what I was saying about the small market teams in the NBA that are like people say, you don't have the big names and yada yada yada. The NBA already last year they signed the deal, so it's a 10-year deal worth $76 billion. What NBC paid for that deal?
For their part of it, and I think ESPN got the other.
It's
just that TNT lost the rights. They're on it.
Yeah,
So
they outbid it. They got outbid it. They're done. But he had a great run. So now the NBA's got to go. We got to go for a global market. We got NFL trying to just take Christmas from us and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just insanity. But I'm done. Never mind. I don't eat
the real war for Christmas.
Well, they've already I think they scheduled like 5 games, football games for Christmas now. It's not right. I read somebody else said, "What is this? It's sacrilege. The NBA's Christmas. I mean, Thanksgiving belongs to the NFL, but they've taken it. But I won't be watching. I told my family members, I still say, if you got NFL on Christmas, I'm not coming. I'm going someplace, maybe my own house. I can watch the NBA basketball. So I can watch LeBron on Christmas, Steph Curry on Christmas. The old guys. What do I know?
Just slide down the chimney.
Well,
bring you some games.
Well, yeah. I'm into the chimney thing, but that's a whole other issue.
All right.
Where's the HA? Did you miss it? Did you see the article about I need an opinion of Gino about this Zion Williams thing.
All right. So if I understand this correctly, some girl said that during COVID, when he was renting the house in Beverly Hills, that she took advantage of him multiple times, and that she never came out. And now she did. Now she wants anywhere between 19 million and 50 million. Right? Did I get all that right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Jeez. That
is like really. They should put her in jail.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna disparage anybody because I don't.
I won't try. All I'm saying, I read it too. So when you read that, say what?
It's what the issue was going on right now. Just in my opinion, you're gonna get some good ones and some bad ones that's gonna come out because they all can jump on the bandwagon. Hell, at this point, if you side-eyed a woman at this point, I think she's coming for a couple $1 million. I don't know. I'm keeping my eyes and my glasses.
If you got some cheese, you're gonna listen. As a professional and a corporate man, when I was doing that thing, I didn't say good morning to women in our office and business. I didn't come at nobody with a nice dress. I didn't do any of it. It's safer. Just say hi and keep rolling.
Nothing. Okay, here's the thing. This is what I was trying to say off mic on the part of the show we're not gonna be playing, man. These guys, these athletes, whether they're superstar level or mid level, if you made it to the league, you're a professional. But they also been coming up all these years, and people have been throwing themselves at them, trying to get access, trying to get at them, trying to do whatever. So you kind of get used to it. So I can't be that mad that these people are trying to come at them, because these guys have been letting people come at them all this time. Because we talked about this. This is not the only baby mama issue or side woman issue he got, and he's not the only one out there. So it's not like I don't think it's like an active thing. Maybe you're hearing about it more, but I think this was always happening, that these guys
Of course it is, but who's mad?
Y'all seem to be perplexed about it.
No. No. Mad is a wrong word to use. It's just to think that you what I was telling you earlier, that you have a team, right? You got agent people, your publicists, all these people doing these things. You got to have some dick control too. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Great.
Personal responsibility. maybe that's better. That's right.
You got to have somebody. Somebody.
You have to take personal responsibility for what your little friend want to do.
Anyway, what I forget the old dudes. Man, you got to put a helmet on that soldier, huh?
A helmet on that soldier. Wow.
No, but
That show title.
But that story is like, man, it's like it's like I read it. I'm like, I'm saying, wait a minute. You could hire some very smart people, a pittance of what you make to make sure that you're a deal. It's like when a professional player gets fucking pulled. I take that back. Get him up for like a DUI or stuff like that. You could have Alfred driving you around. You know what I mean?
Okay,
In
but
your car.
yeah, but still, it still comes out. You could have. I know what you're saying. You could have all these things in place. Somebody's watching your money, somebody's watching your nutrition, somebody's watching your travel. What you do behind closed doors when you get on that phone and DM somebody, "Hey, girl,"
Yeah,
let me ask you this. So let me
Make it
ask you
come
that
this.
to
comes
your-
out the person's responsibility.
Let me
it come
ask
to-
you this, because I'm having the same issue with your boy, Curtis. Who's your boy? Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he's
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the one of the
he's stacking them up too, baby.
yeah.
mama.
So one of the podcasts I was listening to over the weekend was talking about that's why he can't be the face of the NBA because of his moral clause. So now this man is on it. What, he's getting another paternity test, and this girl wants all the money. So I mean, what, he has 8 baby mamas now? How do you have 4 to 8 anyway?
At
That many
23.
exactly. So what? I don't. These young ones are different nowadays.
Well, okay,
What
no,
the
it's some
other-
guys. It's guys that like old guys like that. What's that guy?
Yeah,
say?
but social media wasn't around 20
Yeah.
years ago like it is right now. Now everybody
You did-
come out and say it.
You didn't know about Wilt's 20,000 women until way
No.
But
later.
that's not okay. So that's
Yeah.
that was a hype. It's one true. Anyway, so the guy, what's the guy you got?
200.
Rain Man used to play with Seattle Supersonics. Oh gosh,
Gary Payton? No.
no, that's the glove. The Rain Man was their center. I think his name
Sean
was-
Kemp.
Sean Kemp.
Yep,
Right.
Sean Kemp.
He
I
got
remember
a ton.
he had a ton, boy. But yeah, but going back to that, I mean, first of all, if you coming into any of these leagues, right? You got to be more careful. You got to be. What?
Oh,
Go
yes.
ahead. You shaking your head.
Yeah,
What?
that's
You
'cause-
still
'cause
got to be
you-
careful regardless.
You still got to be careful, but I don't think these guys. What 21-year-old superstar is thinking like that if he's coming up and getting ready to be a superstar like that? They're focused on getting him ready to get into the league. I don't think anybody's saying, well, you know what? Maybe you should also remember, maybe not put your.
No.
No, you're
There's
wrong.
guys
Some of the
out there who
parents
have-
are.
There's guys
Go
who
ahead.
have courses.
Yep.
They teach that stuff.
They do. They
John
do.
Sally, a
and
number
a
of
lot
other
of their
guys-
agents do the same thing too.
Yeah,
They're agents.
There's classes. They tell you if you go to it. Now, if you're not you want to go,
Yeah.
that's another story.
Because
John
think about
Sally
it, you're a
does it.
star like you're a star like Anthony Edwards or any of these guys, Zion, any of these guys. He messes up the money. You mess up the money for everybody. Security. You mess up the money for
Yeah.
the agent. You mess up the
Yeah.
money for the league. You mess up the money for the franchise. You mess up the money for everybody if you going around doing this kind of stuff, man. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I mean,
It's just
again,
it's happening. It happens because and not just in the NBA, NFL, NHL,
NFL, everything, everybody.
WNBA, whatever they do,
Here's what's so messed up about all of this. If you Google, not even a name, if you Google NBA paternity test, the AI comes up and the first person it says Anthony Edwards and Aisha Howard, and it goes through the entire list. It doesn't mention anybody else. If you just Google NBA paternity test, it just comes up like he's the poster child for
He's
the
the poster
NBA
child for
paternity test.
just not even
That's just
crazy.
wrong. That's just
No, it's just he's not thinking.
He's
That
not
means he doesn't. That means he doesn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
That means he doesn't listen to anybody because I'm sure he has people around him. And just really. I met Laquita in the strip club. Really?
It's not look.
Well, I don't want to. I mean, going back.
I don't think
to
he's
this,
meeting him in the strip club. I think
So-
that's not the thing. They come to him.
this might be, and if it is, Curtis, cut me off. This might be the wrong time to bring it up. But remember, back in the day, let's say the 80s, 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, with the league, the NBA league, I mean, you're able to, and I don't want to say it the wrong way, cover things up or manage situations, not cover it up, manage situations, right? Karl Malone, you remember the whole thing with Karl Malone way back when?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bring that part up, but
Yeah.
how did that slip through the cracks for all these years and nobody ever brought that back up? It's because there was, I mean, either there was a great payoff or they managed it
done.
properly, or it's
His
right.
NDA is done. Yeah, I know about him and it. Yeah, I know that story. So
Yeah.
but these cats are so they're hitting so many of them. Like,
But not only that, you know what the other issue is? They're hitting so many, like you were just about to say, but they're also bragging about it over social media. Who got this time to go tit and tat back and forth? I'll give you case in point. The whole Cardi B and Offset thing. They've been separated, divorced, and he's trying to sue her for paternity because he's with this other guy who's making all this other money. Now he wants to sue for paternity over a kid that he doesn't even see. I mean, but they're playing this all out over social media, yelling at each other like it's the court of law. So I think the mentality of what social media has done, like, I'll play this out for the court of opinion, and Adrian's smiling right now because I know he's like, here you go again. Get off my lawn, man. No.
Because everybody
ruining
just looking for clicks and stuff.
Yeah, but when you see that, and then they amplify that. They amplify all of that. But I'm not going to get on my soapbox again because you know how I feel about it. That's why I stay off this, though.
Hey, here's the thing. It's a new day, but it's the same story. They've been doing this kind of you always get clout, whatever you want to call that, it's different in different generations, but they've always been out there. So it's not just social media is just a new way to do it. But there's always somebody who's trying to get over, trying to get
it's a money grab right now. It's a money grab.
So my point was this, okay? Back up just a second. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. I made some stupid decisions in my life too. But anyway, what I'm saying is these cats you gotta know. And then also, we lumping everybody into the same group. It's a small percentage though. It's not a lot. Yeah. It's just small. It's less than 10%. All these other guys got people, family members, and stuff like their parents and stuff. You know what I mean? It's a small percentage. And so because some of the ones they're people who's supposed to be guarding them or taking care of them, they live in the life too.
Yeah.
So how can you take care of you? I'm enjoying the, I just signed a $250 million deal. So my piece of it is, I don't know, a couple of million. That's still a couple of million. Put a couple of million in my hand right now. I'll be screaming in like a banshee. It's all good. Huh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It also depends on who the person is, or like you said, you're talking about face of the league. When you talk about face of the league in like the NFL, those guys can't. You can't be messed up. You need to come out as a certain, moral clause, certain family member.
NFL, you got to be careful. So who is the face of the league in the NFL?
Mahomes, I would say.
Yeah. I would say that.
And
I might give you his boy, but him and Tay. But I think Mahomes, because he's married, he got a pretty wife, got a couple kids, young kid, they can push.
So who's the face of the league in the NBA?
Well,
that's the problem. They can't get one right now.
The face of the league is still LeBron James and Steph Curry. They both have wives. They're older.
Yeah, they do. But who's the new face?
There's no new face coming to their league.
Well, that's what you got. That's what you need.
Yeah, but they're both about to leave.
No. I agree with what you're saying. But I was reading something that say, listen, they still searching for a face. Until those guys leave, you got a face. It's LeBron. It's Steph Curry. So they fool around like who's going to be the next face. The next face will stand up and he won't announce his stuff. He will just be there. It's like it says in the Quran. Allah says be, and it is. Simple. But God campaigned to be that. He's not the one.
Right, exactly. No, I get you on that. Yeah.
Get us picked up by an ice truck. What's wrong with you?
Ice truck? You chasing for ice cream? You like
no, not that kind of ice. My brother.
Wow. Okay, anyway.
I know it. I'm slow.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Let him have his moment. He was happy about that one.
Wow.
Because he said he lives suburban Orlando. He can't find a plasma center. But that's a whole nother story.
I just like to say suburban Orlando because same Polk County.